does it different from your new venture?
No, so your starting point is only wrong.
Yeah.
I was in the automobile field.
Okay.
My family's business was Ideal Java.
Okay.
We are my family, the Irani families are the one who set up Ideal Java in 1961, I think, yes. And we were in business till 96. I got into real estate only after I had to exit from there. After 1996, I kept trying time and again to re-establish the motorcycle business, because when people ask me, and my father passed away in 1989, so that's actually after which I got totally involved in the motorcycle business. But I was very, very young. I was 19 years old when he passed away, and we were in the factory for a long time, but at that point in time there was too many forces against us. So unfortunately, I had to leave that business and come into real estate. So we did very well with real estate, and like my partner says, the three amigos had to come together because of something called serendipity. I was looking for somebody to restart the motorcycle business with, and you should say this on air also. I was looking for somebody to restart the motorcycle business with, and out of the blue, one fine day I get a call from Anand Mahindra, who I knew socially, but nothing more than that. He calls me up and says, "Hey Baman, I have somebody to come and meet you. Can I send somebody to come and meet you?" Anand Mahindra says, "Can I have somebody?" It means, "Mille bhai, meet the person." So I wore a jacket to the office. Normally I am very easy dressed. I wore a jacket to the office that day because someone from Mahindra is coming, then it might be a suit boot. So anyway, when I walked in, when he walked in, I saw a man wearing a Om t-shirt, Om, kurti, not even a t-shirt. A lot of malas around his neck, his hair flowing wild. And that's how I met my dear friend now, Anupam Thareja. And Anupam Thareja had a plan, and he and Anand had discussed that we want to enter the classic automobiles brand. And they had decided that Yazdi is the brand that they want. Java and Yazdi is the brand that they want. And when he walked in over there, he said that, look, first 5 minutes niceties, this, that. I was in shock. Who am I talking to? But we hit it off so beautifully. And within about 15-20 minutes, he says, look, I want to buy the brand. I said, forget it. I'm not selling it. But what I want to do is I want to be a party to this entire thing. I'll give you the brand. Here, you can take it. Anand is a very respected person and you've come through him. So here's the brand for you. But more importantly, I said that I want to be a part of this entire journey. And I don't know if you know Parsis. So we are Parsis basically. So they, within 15 minutes of Anupam stepping out, I got a call from Anand. Anand says, hey Baman, Anupam says, he's only heard about Crazy Bawas, and now that he's met you, it's absolutely certain that, we cannot do this without you, we'll do this together. So that's how the three amigos came together, right? And the rest, as they say, Anupam is an avid biker, I am an avid biker. We don't only sit down on balance sheets, we sit down on actual technicals. So even right now I was getting some feedback from Shambhu, which I will take back with me and literally work on it. We make it a point to go to the R&D ourselves. We sit down for long design sessions. We've traveled halfway around the world to kind of get the product which is perfectly right for us. And in exchange, I think we've made something very beautiful. And of all the bikes that I've made, there's always one favorite, right? You may have 5 kids, but there's one favorite. So I was just saying, Shambhu, I'm a very 42 kind of guy. So I love the 42 because it's sporty. I love the 42 because it rides aggressive. All bikes ride aggressive, but this one rides very aggressive to my liking. And while I do ride the Parak when it requires me to, I'm not a very easy rider. I'm not someone who just kind of puts his legs in the front and takes a nice easy ride. So that's my favorite. And when we were bringing out the 2.1 of the 42, I was very happy because the bike, the moment you look at it, it puts a smile on your face. Then when you ride it, it just kind of warms your heart up. And then when you're done at the end of the day and you've had a nice long ride, whatever it is you do, whether you grab a beer or you're just sitting down having a meal with friends, there's so much to talk about, right? That bike just evokes that love and affection in you. So that's it. That's the story. So I was not in real estate where I came into motorcycles. I was in motorcycles and I'm back. Ghar wapsi in Hindi, they say.
So you had two brands with you already, right?
Yes. The Yazdi is our brand. The Java is our family's, how do I say, lineage. But we met up with the owners of the Java brand, who are great associates of ours. So we are. So the Java brand is also ours for India.
I got a few questions about the brand SD. How come the name SD came in?
So Yazdi is actually a name that Parsis have. So we have got some very renowned people in Mumbai. If you are a Mumbaikar, you would know these names also, who are Yazdi. So there's a Yazdi Nagpurwala, Yazdi, another person Daruwala. Yazdi is a name. But how did Yazdi actually come around? I'll tell you. My mother's father actually came from a place in Iran called Yazd. There's an entire province called Yazd. And when they set up business in Mumbai, they called it the Yazdani. Okay, so there was a bakery, there was a store, there was something, Yazdani. So when, I think in 1969, when the government announced that all these Indian brands have got to go Atmanirbharta, and whatever was happening now was happening then also. So they decided that all the brands have got to be local. So at that point in time, my father, I remember the story, and until his health started deteriorating, he could draw the logo with a pencil himself. So the Yazdi logo which you see, the old one, right? It was his drawing that he kind of made for the brand. And if you observe that logo, and I don't tire of saying this, so I'll say it one more time. If you observe the brand, and there's some Yazdis parked outside, and you have one, you will see two. Sorry, my bad, sir. You will see, if you go back and now observe that Yazdi brand, which used to come on the Classic and this, that small little one where people used to turn it around also and call it the Itza. So that brand, and you will see the engine design.
Yeah.
There is so much of a commonality. Rather, you can see that there was a confluence in the two, right?
Yeah.
And until my father's health started deteriorating, which was in, I think, early 85 or 86, he passed away in 89. He could with a pencil actually draw that entire logo like the cartoonists do. So he could just kind of draw it up for you like within 10 minutes. And that's how the Yazdi brand came into being. So Yazdani, Yazd is the province. Yazdani was the first business that my grandfather on my mother's side started in Mumbai, and my father, being a good husband, I think took the name Yazdi from there. And Yazdi is is a name of the Parsis also.
See, last year actually the Perak launched.
Yeah.
So maybe everyone was expecting a lot, and then again the
2.1.
Yeah, exactly. This launch. So can we expect a couple of models also, like the coming year, like some SD or anything above 500cc or something like that?
So I can't say much because we've got press also in the room. But I can tell you this: this is going to be a very exciting year. 2020 was supposed to be exciting for us, but it was exciting in other ways for the world. So 2021 is going to be the year we just had to push all the plans and bring it down this year. So it's going to be an exciting year for sure. You, Shambhu, will see some.
Shambhu is like an unofficial ambassador of Java in Kerala.
I think I'm official now. I'm going to take a picture with him which you can put down in your magazine, then it's official.
So when you're planning to launch SD branch again?
So like I said, can't say much, but sometime this year you can expect Classic Legends to give out a lot of new, exciting two-wheelers.
May I ask, what's the most memorable moment with SD, the brand SD?
You're talking of me as a rider, or you're talking of me as a... So I'll tell you this. It's really funny. They say now when you're born into a family of automobiles or two-wheelers, I think I learned to ride before I learned to walk, in a manner of speaking. So I'll tell you this, we used to have these bikes that my cousins, etc., uncles used to have, and I used to live on a farm, big farm. And I used to ride those bikes when I was like, I think 8-9 years old. And how we used to do it is, we used to have these, the farm hands who used to be there, and they used to kind of hold the bike, they used to put me on it, I could never kickstart it at that point in time. They used to start that bike. They used to literally, I think my legs used to just reach, and the gears were 1 up, 2, 3, 4 down, right? So I used to just put that gear up and literally in first gear have them run along with me, but literally in first gear ride around the entire spot. But my most exciting rides, I can tell you, is this. I used to go to Mysore for the vacations. Right? I was not even 18. Please don't quote this. I was not even 18, and I had this dying urge to ride. So I used to pick up the bike at 6:37 in the morning. I used to ride to Ooty. There was that lake. They had a nice coffee place out there. I used to have a coffee out there. I must have been 16, just out, just under 16, out of school and into college. And I remember I went so late for my admissions that I almost got admissions nowhere. And I used to go to Ooty in the morning. I used to ride from Ooty all the way back to Bangalore. I used to reach Bangalore by around 4:35. And then, there were these Palestinian Irani boys out there in Bangalore, because they used to all come to the engineering colleges out there. So I used to hang with them, and about 7:38 ride back to Mysore. And it's difficult even for me to imagine it, but I could do it every single day, and I did it every single day for the period that I was there. I didn't want anything else. I didn't need anything else. Me and my Road King, and we used to just take off. And I tell you, once I had these group of riders riding with me, I had my friends, etc., come along 3-4 years later, and then one of them, I used to take those hairpin bends up. There are 2 roads to go to Ooty. One is that new road, which is like, nice and easy, and one with these hairpin bends. I can't remember now, but 36 or 37 or something like that, hairpin bends were there. I used to take that road up, and it's empty. Okay, there is nobody. So one of my friends, after we reached Ooty, said, "Shit, man, that road is shit." He didn't even know I was riding before that. He said, "Boss, on that road, if we got stuck, there'd be nobody to help us." That's when it dawned on to me how beautifully crazy a person gets when he's on a motorcycle, right? He just feels one, and that's why I said outside, you become one with the motorcycle, and that's how you really enjoy to ride. So I was so one with that motorcycle that it never occurred to me that there could be a breakdown, or I could do anything that could create trouble.
Do you still have that Road King with you?
Unfortunately, no. But every time I see a Road King, I almost get how do I say? I was gifted one Road King this year by a friend of mine, but it's not the same one that I used to ride then. So he actually gave me a gift on my birthday. He reconditioned a Road King and gave it to me. I don't ride it as much because it doesn't have the same performance as these bikes do. I'm a very aggressive rider. I used to be aggressive then and aggressive now.
So have you seen many Javas in Kerala while traveling, while riding?
So yes, we did see a few, and hopefully we'll see a lot more. The last 1 year has been, let's put it this way, not very good for us as an industry also, because March the lockdown was announced, and then we've come into BS6 age, so all of that. But we look forward to having a lot more, and more than that, I look forward to having true blue riders, and genuine riders who enjoy the product. It's not only about numbers; it's also about what kind of smiles we can put in the hearts of the people. Yeah.
Do you really miss the 2-stroke?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Okay. I did miss it when the government had imposed all those restrictions for which we ran into all that trouble. But in Hindi they say Parivartan is, in Gita Sar there's a line, Parivartan hi sansar ka niyam hai, you might as well go with it. Ideally we still get to ride some 2 strokes if they are those 50-60 cc's, but mostly those fun bikes or whatever they call them. So no, not anymore. But at that point in time, for sure.
So how many bikes do you want? Like, how many bikes do you have?
I have 5 motorcycles right now. I've got a Classic,
Okay.
I've got a Perak,
Okay.
and I've got 342s.
Only Javas.
Yeah, only Javas.
Okay. Cool.
Only
You
Javas.
forgot the SD.
I'm sorry. This was just gifted to me. I don't ride it as much, so I have the Road King also. It's a beautifully restored piece, and I plan to keep it in immaculate condition. But you touched a raw note by saying, do I still have that bike? I'm missing it.
And can you tell us something about the scrappage policy? How will it affect this old bikes and all?
So I think we needed to do this long back. In terms of automobiles, of course, it's like when Notebandi came in, they allowed you to keep certain amount of notes for memory purposes. that is great. But if you go across the roads in the country, you'll find so many of these old cars and motorcycles parked by the side of the road, rusting away, nobody doing anything to them. So towards that, the scrappage policy is going to be excellent. Whether it's for the old trucks, whether it's for the old cars, whether it's for the old motorcycles. I would say that people need to learn to move ahead with times and technology.
It's good for the industry, right?
Is it good for the industry? For sure.
Do you have any kind of package for the all SD Java owners, like to preserve the heritage or?
Oh, for sure we do. I can tell you this, when we got on to this journey, I've had almost I would say 19 bikes restored in Mumbai itself, 19 motorcycles restored, SDs restored in Mumbai itself. So they were lying, somebody's spare parts not available, etc. So when we got onto this venture, we had organized, to pick these bikes up, get them redone, restarted. Like this bike which was gifted to me also was a restoration. What will happen in the long run is these bikes will become, so when you have an antique car or whatever, you go take a special number, and then that is allowed, but you're supposed to follow certain guidelines. So it's got to be up to the mark. It cannot just be falling away by the roadside. So we will encourage our SD collectors to continue holding on to that heritage for sure. And someday we will also have a big museum, which we will invite them to park their bikes out there for as long as they want to, and then do a little bit of history. If you, I think it was in Munich that I went and saw the BMW museum, and there's something to be said about history, right? I mean, it evokes a sense of pride or evokes a sense of belonging, and of course we will do that.
As an SD owner, there's a question like, will we ever get any kind of support like the spares or anything?
You are already getting that, and
Yep.
if you are not, then I think you should be connecting with one of our team members. We will definitely support you.
Okay.
Definitely. In whatever way we can.
Great. So, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.